Hey guys, this is Christian Thibaudeau here with the queen of training, Letitia. She really loves compliments. So today we're going to talk about pressing. A bit more about overhead pressing, but the same information also applies to bench pressing. When selecting exercises, you want to look at the need or the needs of a client and also their limitations. And that's even more true for the upper body, because if they have a limitation, for example, in the recruitment of the trap 3, the rhomboid, external rotators, it's going to make any form of pressing more dangerous. So they might not be ready to do barbell bench press or barbell overhead press. We might need to scale down the movement. So we're going to do some testing here to see if she's apt at doing barbell overhead lifting and barbell bench pressing. We are looking at red flags, not necessarily big strength differences, but what we are looking for is, first, are some of the scapular muscles inhibited? So there's very little muscle recruitment. Second, is there a difference between the left and the right side? Because if there's a difference between left and right side, I don't recommend going with heavy loaded barbell lifts for your A series, because your body will always compensate one side and one side will become more dangerously in more dangerous position. So you need to be balanced between both right and left, and you need to have no inhibited scapular muscle to be allowed to do the heavier overhead or bench press movement. So we're going to start with just regular muscle testing. So you're going to lie on your stomach on the bench. Ideally, you have a massage table and candles and maybe a nice dinner. Anyway, so first, my jokes work much better in North America than Australia, so it seems. Anyway, let's just finish the video, right? So we're going to look for trap 3. So just because the weight it's done, they'll just move more to that side because that will be in the way. So just move back a bit more. Yeah, good. Okay, so the end position of a trap 3 would be with that hand here. Just one side. About a 45-degree angle, thumb up here. That will be the finished position. We are looking at 3 levels. The first level, let's just go down, I bring her up, and when I remove my hand, she can maintain that position. Boom, good. Now, normally I would put myself here. I want to see activation. Is she contracting the upper trap to compensate, or if the trap 3 is activated? So I'm putting her up. Okay, that is firing, so that's fine. That would be level 1. Level 2, she can go up by herself. Go up. Okay, that is contracting, that's fine. Level 3, she can go up, and I'm going to apply pressure. Never on the joint, always in. That's slightly weak. Okay, she's functional, but not super strong. Then I would test, of course, the other side to see if both are balanced. Now I'm going to test trap 2. Trap 2, the finished position will be here and rotated like this. Externally, not supinated, externally rotated. And we need the end position. So again, if she can hold it, she passes level 1. You go down, try to go up by yourself. She passes level 2. And I put my hand here. I'm going to apply pressure. Again, not super strong, but functional. Then we're going to test rhomboids. For rhomboids, you're going to put that here. Bend. Here, okay? You want to take your hand, bend, like the shoulder here. I'm going to push it up to bring the scapula toward the spine. That is the start position. I'm going to remove to see if she can hold the position. That's firing, that's fine. Now, can you go down? Can you go up by yourself? Level 2 is accomplished. Then I'm going to try to push her down. Much stronger, much stronger. So what we see is that our rhomboids are much stronger than the trap 3 and trap 2. So in the C series for pressing, we would do trap 3 or trap 2 work. Rhomboids would not be needed as much. Then we would test external rotator, then we test both sides. Now, if she is like that and equal on both sides, she can move on to barbell overhead pressing. She would be fine. Okay, now I would do a second test to test now for mobility. So just stand up, sideways, and you're gonna put, you know what a overhead squat is? Just put your hands above your head, okay, and then squat down. Keep your hands closer, yeah, and go back. Stop, okay. What we want in that low position, first, that is fine, so lumbar mobility, thoracic mobility is decent. There's a little lack of shoulder mobility because you can see the ears from the... Normally in that position, your ears would be hidden. From experience, that is a lack of thoracic mobility, not so much a shoulder joint, okay? So that doesn't completely disqualify her from barbell overhead pressing, but I would use more of that neutral grip that will help her get a bit more range. So what I will do in that case, we use dumbbell overhead press. You can take 2 dumbbells. Well, yeah. No, take a small ones. It doesn't matter. You already know you're weak on hamstring. There you go. All right. All right. So we will look at the progression for dumbbell overhead press. First, there's the progression based on body position. Standing being the hardest one because you have to balance yourself. Now the second one is half kneeling, and then the first one is the cervicus press, which is seated on the floor. Let's look at the kneeling press, the half kneeling press. So you would take half kneeling position, go on the floor. Yeah. When you do that, you're going to use only one arm. So put the other side here, and you're going to do a neutral grip overhead press from that half position. And what you want is to try to hide your here. So bring your bicep to your here when pressing. So go down, hide your here, bicep, exactly. Because when you're pressing overhead, it's a backward arc, not a straight line. Most people press in a straight line, it ends up above their, in front of their face. Again, and you don't keep that tight. Don't compensate. Most people will compensate lower back extension to compensate for lack of thoracic mobility. Keep abs tight. Good. If the person has problem keeping that tight and you want to increase abdominal strength, you can go to a cervicus press. So you're going to go seated on the floor. You're going to take 2 dumbbells and you're going to press from that position. You press up, biceps to your ears. Biceps to your ears, contract that, that's good. Go down, biceps to your ears. That's it. By keeping the legs extended, you really need to contract those abdominals to keep tight. Now, after the half kneeling press, you could go to the kneeling press with 2 dumbbells. So go in the kneeling position. And then you would do the same movement we just did. And keep that tight here. And press up, biceps to your ears. That's it. You don't want hyperextension here. That's it. Good. And the last version would be standing up. Always go with half kneeling or seated, then you go standing. So you have the first version for the A series, which is a straight overhead press with a neutral grip. Biceps to your ears, keep your abdominal contracted. Good. And let's go. That's it. All right. Now for people with a small problem with shoulder mobility, I always stick with a neutral grip. It's much safer, much better for overall shoulder development anyway. Now, the last level you can reach for the A series would be the push press. So using still the neutral grip, you're going to show dip and you're pressing up, always biceps to your ears. Boop, that's it. So that allows you to use a bit more weight. When you're doing the push press to build more muscle, you want to use a quick concentric but still control the eccentric. That way you are lowering heavier weights than you can press, which will have a great hypertrophy stimulation. So that is the progression for overhead press. Now, depending on if her mobility or stability improves, she can now move on to a barbell lift. But for overhead movement, normally the dumbbells are a better variation, and the neutral grip is a much safer also variation. So this is all the kind of information you will get in the hypertrophy online course with the Clean Hand Fitness Institute. And you're gonna have that progression from step 1 to step 12 for all those basic movement patterns. So this is Christian and Letitia saying to you next time. That doesn't make sense. Fist bump. That's it. Still good.